Good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to our first special presentation of the evening. Tonight, the City of Moreno Valley proudly recognizes International Animal Rights Day, a time to reflect on the important role animals play in our lives and our shared responsibility to protect them. Our city is home to a rich diversity of animals, including our iconic wild donkeys and burros, which connect us to the region's heritage and natural beauty. These animals, along with all wild, domestic, and companion animals, are sentient beings deserving of compassion, humane treatment, and protecting from harm. We are pleased to welcome our recipients from our very own Animal Services Department. Ashley Renz, Animal Services Division Manager, and her team. Please join me in giving them a warm welcome round of applause. Ashley, thank you for being here tonight. Moreno Valley Animal Services does important work every day to protect animals and support residents. Through adoption events, spay and neuter programs, microchipping, and community outreach, the department helps animals find safe, loving homes and keeps pets healthy. Ashley, please share a few words about the department's work and how the community can get involved.
Thank you, everyone. I just would like to say thank you to the mayor, council members for this proclamation for International Animal Rights Awareness Day. At the Moreno Valley Animal Shelter, we do respond to a wide variety of calls for service, including reports of animal neglect and cruelty, and that is something that we remain focused on responding to in prompt and timely manner. I would also like to invite each and every one of you here to come down and check us out at the animal shelter. We do have volunteers, we have a volunteer program, and we have lots of adoptable animals that you can take home today. We're also doing a special adoption event this week, all the way up through Saturday, and we also do monthly specials for our pets to help find them new homes. So please come down and check us out, and I appreciate it, and thank you again, and thank you to my staff for coming and helping us receive this proclamation today.
Building on those comments and recognition of this work, I am proud to present this proclamation. The City of Moreno Valley proclaims International Animal Rights Day. We encourage our residents to show kindness to animals and to respect and protect our wild donkeys, burros, and all animals that enrich our community. Please join me in giving them another round of applause for Ashley and her team. We'll now take a group photo.
Excuse me. They do an amazing job. If we can give them another round of applause, please, for all the work that they do on a daily basis. You have a heavy workload, but we appreciate you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you for everything that you do for our pets and our animals every single day. And for our second presentation of this evening, the City of Moreno Valley proudly recognizes International Day of Persons with Disabilities. This is a day to raise awareness, promote understanding, and champion the rights and dignity of all individuals. These efforts continue year-round. Observed annually on December 3rd, this day was established by the United Nations in 1992. Its purpose is to inspire communities to remove barriers, foster inclusion, and ensure that people of all abilities can participate fully in society. We are pleased to welcome our recipient from the Riverside University Health System, Janet Zimmerman, Market and Public Relations Director. If we could please give her a big warm welcome as she makes her way to the microphone. Absolutely. Janet, thank you for being here with us this evening. RUHS plays a key role in our community. Programs like the Access Clinic provide tailored care for adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities. They also help remove language and cultural barriers for patients who need support. Janet, would you like to share a little bit about the work that RUHS is doing locally to support inclusion and accessibility?
I would love to.
The floor is yours.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, Mayor and members of the council, for this proclamation recognizing the International Day of Persons with Disabilities. On behalf of Riverside University Health System, I want to thank the City of Moreno Valley for this recognition and for the continued cooperation between the city and RUHS. This proclamation reflects a shared understanding that access to care, services, and community support is essential for residents with disabilities and for the overall health of the community. RUHS is proud of its longstanding partnership with Moreno Valley. Through ongoing coordination with city leadership, departments, and community partners, we work together to connect residents to healthcare, behavioral health services, public health programs, and other critical resources. This collaboration helps ensure that services are responsive, accessible, and aligned with local needs. International Day of Persons with Disabilities is an opportunity to reaffirm our responsibility to remove barriers and strengthen systems of care. At RUHS, this work is integrated into how we plan, communicate, and deliver services across the county, including here in Moreno Valley. We value this relationship and remain committed to working alongside Moreno Valley to provide effective, coordinated care for the community. Thank you again for this recognition and for your continued partnership.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I want to briefly mention also before I read a little bit of the language from the proclamation itself to build off of what Janet said. Thank you for those remarks, and to the entire RUHS institution for the work that you do on a regular basis. You mentioned the partnerships and the long-standing collaboration between the city and RUHS and many, many other partners. Just want to provide one example of the culmination, the fruits of those collaborations, the $184 million that was awarded through Proposition 1 to RUHS earlier this year. The city was proud to support that. You know, staff worked really hard on that. My colleagues on the council also supported that, and that will only further increase access to behavioral health services and healthcare services to our community, including our youth. So without further ado, I would like to present the proclamation recognizing the dedication and efforts of RUHS and our community partners. And the City of Moreno Valley proclaims International Day of Persons with Disabilities. We encourage all residents to foster inclusion, accessibility, and respect for every individual. This proclamation recognizes the important contributions that Riverside University Health System and our community partners make to support people of all abilities. And as my colleagues join us here to take a group picture, we would like to formally present this proclamation on behalf of the City of Moreno Valley. Thank you.
Not quite as big a group.
Looking good. All right, and 1, 2, 3.
Can we get it for Janet and RUHS one more time, please? Thank you once again for joining us this evening, and that will conclude our special presentations for this evening. We will be back in approximately 18 minutes for our regular council meeting. Have a good night. Good evening and welcome to the joint meeting of the City Council of the City of Moreno Valley. The City Council receives a separate stipend from the Community Services District if any CSD business is conducted at the meeting. I now call this meeting to order on December 16th at 6 p.m. Would any of my colleagues like to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance this evening? Councilmember Delgado will lead us in the pledge, and please remain standing after that for the invocation given this evening by Pastor Martha Lemus from Templo Cristiano Restauración.
Please join me by placing your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
Is Pastor Martha Lemus here with us? Good evening, welcome.
Buenas tardes a todos. Venimos de parte de la pastora Marta Lemus de la Iglesia de Restauración. Mi nombre es Raúl López, soy su hijo, predicador de la iglesia también. Estamos agradecidos por esta invitación. Agradecemos a todos ustedes por tomar en cuenta y es un honor poder estar aquí y tener la oportunidad de poner todos los planes y todas las decisiones que se tienen que tomar en manos de Dios. Tomar decisiones no es fácil, pero tomar decisiones confiando en Dios, eso es algo diferente. Vamos a hacer una oración para que Dios pueda estar en medio de todas las decisiones que se tengan que tomar y que tome el control de todo. Les invito a que oremos. Vamos a orar. Padre, en este momento, Señor, te pedimos, estamos aquí delante de ti reconociendo la importancia de poner decisiones en tus manos. Tu palabra promete que si estamos faltos de sabiduría, podemos pedirla y tú nos la darás, y en abundancia y sin reproche. Te pedimos que ilumines el entendimiento, que traigas paz al corazón ante cualquier decisión que se tenga que tomar. Remueve todo temor, toda confusión. Confiamos en ti, Dios, que tú lo vas a hacer. Te pedimos por la vida del Mayor Cabrera, de toda la gente involucrada, por el Departamento de Policía, por el Departamento de Bomberos y todos los involucrados en tomar decisiones, que seas tú, Señor, en medio de esto. Creemos que tú vas a estar en todas estas decisiones para este nuevo año y que van a beneficiar a esta ciudad de Moreno Valley. Te pedimos que seas tú guiando y que toda la gente encargada de tomar esas decisiones estés tú en medio de ellas. Te pedimos por una ciudad bendecida y próspera y te pedimos que seas tú, Señor, ayudando en todo momento. Te lo pedimos en el nombre de Cristo Jesús. Amén y amén. Gracias.
Muchas gracias. With that, we will go ahead and move into item D, which is roll call. Madam Clerk, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor Bernard?
Here.
Sorry, Councilmember Bernard, I'm so sorry.
Here.
Councilmember Gonzalez?
Here.
Councilmember Delgado?
Here, ma'am.
Mayor Pro Tem Baca Santa Cruz?
Here.
And Mayor Cabrera?
Here. Thank you. We are all present, so we'll go ahead and skip over item E, the motions to excuse. Next up, staff introductions, please.
Sonia Gomez, Senior Deputy City Clerk.
Paul Radvika, Management Analyst.
Stephen Quintanilla, City Attorney.
Brian Mohan, City Manager.
Lana Jimenez, Assistant City Manager over Administration, Chief Financial Officer.
Felicia London, Deputy Finance Director.
Sean Keller, Assistant City Manager Development.
Angelica Fraustilipo, Community Development Director.
Kyle Warsinski, Economic Development Director.
Melissa Walker, Director of Public Works.
Jeremy Bubnick, Director of Parks and Community Services.
Robert Cardenas, Human Resources Director.
Jesse Park, Fire Chief.
Sarah Mack, Chief of Police.
Thank you, staff. It's always a pleasure to be here in the chamber to conduct the people's business. Next up is item G, approval of order of the agenda. And at this time, I would like to say that the city attorney has recommended that public hearing item J1, titled General Plan Update, to be continued to a date uncertain. As such, I recommend that it be moved up for consideration. And with that, I'll turn it over to our city attorney for additional remarks.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So as referenced in the staff report, my office has recommended the public hearing tonight regarding the general plan update, the climate action plan, and the environmental impact report and related zoning ordinance be continued to a date uncertain. This will allow us sufficient time to continue with further negotiations with the California Attorney General's office on issues pertaining to Assembly Bill 98, which pertains to our truck route ordinance and our circulation element. And we are also currently in negotiations with the California Attorney General's office on proposed mitigation measures pertaining to warehouse facilities and distance requirements between warehouse facilities and sensitive receptors, along with other similar mitigation measures. So that's my recommendation. If this matter is continued by the council tonight, any public comment on the issue would be limited specifically to the issue of continuance. However, this does not preclude the public from commenting on issues pertaining to the general plan or any other projects under the heading of public comments on matters not on the agenda, provided that they stick to the 3-minute rule.
Thank you very much, Mr. City Attorney. And with that being said, we will go ahead and move into making motions and seconds and calling for a vote. And per the City Attorney's recommendation, first, we can go ahead and call for a vote to continue item J1 to a date uncertain.
Yeah, and I just one point of clarification. So any comments made in regarding the general plan update pertaining to the merits of the general plan update or the climate action plan or any associated issues will technically not be part of the administrative record for purposes of suing the city. So I just thought it's only fair to clarify that for the record. But they nonetheless are allowed to make public comments.
Thank you, Mr. City Attorney. So at this time, I'll make a motion to continue item J1 to a date uncertain.
I'll second that.
There's a motion and a second. Madam Clerk, please call for the vote.
Councilmember Bernard? Yes. Councilmember Gonzalez?
Yes.
Councilmember Delgado?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Baca Santa Cruz?
Yes.
And Mayor Cabrera?
Yes. And that motion carries unanimously, so J1 will be continued to a date uncertain. And we'll return back to our normal order of business here to approval of order of the agenda for the rest of the agenda. And I'll look to my colleagues to see if there are any requests for any changes. If not, we can entertain a motion and a second.
Motion to approve?
I'll second.
There's a motion and a second to approve the order of the agenda. Madam Clerk, please call for the vote.
Councilmember Bernard?
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez?
Yes.
Councilmember Delgado?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Baca Santa Cruz?
Yes.
And Mayor Cabrera?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. That passes unanimously as well. Next up is item H, public comments on matters not on the agenda. The city now offers language translation services through a free app called Wordly. The app automatically translates a variety of languages into English and vice versa. To use this service, please scan the QR code at the speaker's sign-up table by the double doors. For the visually impaired, please use your earphones or earbuds to listen to the verbal translation. If you do not have any listening devices, please let the city clerk's staff know. We will gladly let you borrow some for this meeting. La ciudad ahora ofrece servicios de traducción de idiomas a través de una aplicación gratuita llamada Wordly. Si gustan usar este servicio, por favor avísele a la secretaria y entregue una tarjeta para hablar. Para usar la traducción, escanee el código QR que está en la mesa junto a las puertas. Before we move on to the public comments, I would like to remind everyone to direct their comments to the City Council. For comments on tonight's agenda, each speaker will have a total of 3 minutes to comment. Madam Clerk, are there any requests to comment on any items not on the agenda?
Yes, we do, Mayor. The first three is going to be Errol Koshwitz, George Haig, and Julia Pedrosa.
Good evening.
Good evening. This is the first time I've been to the city of Moreno Valley. I have a lot of questions pertaining actually to using an overhead projector here. If I can use the overhead projector in the future, I would love that. As a taxpayer, I'm entitled to use the overhead projector. I feel that I could use the overhead projector. That's my first comment of the day. My second comment, actually, you are in violation of the Public Records Request Act. You're not providing information to the public. You are hiring vendors for over $200 million. I have the list. You have to make it public so the public can see who you're hiring. We have a lot of issues, guys, and it's just very, very bad. I have the list right here. It's 14 pages long. That's what I wanted to put over the overhead. Now, who we're hiring and providing services for is actually bribes. You're hiring votes. You're interfering with the elections, the general elections, the local elections, the state elections, the federal elections. You're interfering with everything. You're hiring digital creators. You're not providing me the information, how many you're hiring. Like I said, you're in violation of the California Public Records Request Act, and it's gonna get bad here, guys. I have a law firm. Right now, I'm trying to sue the city of Riverside, the county of Riverside for these reasons. I've been asking public records for so long. You guys, I have an ex-wife that's a county auditor. I've heard it all. I have heard it all. So you cannot lie anymore. It's gonna get bad, guys. I know I'm the first one, but I wanna go through line by line with people that you've hired, companies that you've hired, millions of dollars. You gave Cal Baptist $35,000, which is a private school. I'm upset about this because I live by there. Okay, so they got a lot of money to take over property. That should not be coming from the taxpayers. So I have a lot of problems with you guys already. So I will end that comment today. I would like to use the overhead projector in the future, so you're in violation of my freedom of speech. I would like to use it. Like you guys can use the overhead projector. I've used it at the county meetings, the city meetings. I'm actually famous everywhere. So even San Bernardino, I've even said things in San Bernardino. So I knew who you were. You have a blessed day, guys.
Our next speaker is George Haig, followed by Julia Pedrosa, and followed by Armando Pedrosa.
Good evening, George Haig. I hope in the future if I ask to meet with one of you, start the time again, please.
If we could please restart the 3 minutes.
Does this work?
There you go. Just want to make sure everybody can hear you. Thank you.
I hope in the future that when I wish to meet with one of you that you will agree to do so. It would be much appreciated. When you do eventually get to the Climate Action Plan and the General Plan, City Attorney may tell you correctly that the judge ruled against the lawsuit in one area, and that was on zoning. But he fails to tell you many times that that same judge told the city to set aside all zoning in the city. So right now, the zoning throughout the city is not the one from 2021. There are people who have asked you to deal with R10 in the Northeast. R10 doesn't exist in the Northeast right now. But you will be approving it if you agree with what the planners are doing. We've approved 18,000 units in the last 2 years. I don't know what we need as far as additional housing right now. But hopefully we will in the near future have those 18,000 units. Maximum solar on warehousing, hopefully you will do that in the near future also. I don't believe you did so on the Sprouts Warehouse, you should have. World Logistics Center is going to add 30 individual 1 million plus square foot warehouses. We're already going to have those 30 or maybe even 40 million square foot warehouses. We don't need more warehouses. They're going to add 13,000 daily diesel truck trips to our area. We already have 5 warehouses that have been approved that haven't been built, in addition to the World Logistics Center. 5 others are going through planning right now. Stop changing zoning like you did on the other last warehouse you approved to allow it to go forward. Redlands voted no for more warehouses. City of Paris asked for a moratorium so they can do what Paris has done. Good neighbor policy is very important. The City of Paris is moving forward with one that will protect the residents. So is Riverside. We have a good neighbor policy in name only. It doesn't do anything to protect the residents. You need to look at what other cities are doing to protect the residents. Public letters to the commissioners, like Planning Commission. We see a notice coming out, and we send letters to the Planning Commission, and staff sits on the letters until the meeting, and then they dump them in front of the commissioners, and the commissioners can't read them. The links and the attachments we send are useless. They need to be sent directly. We had a meeting with the Traffic and Safety where we sent letters, and I was hoping they'd be there before, and then finally I was hoping they'd be there in front of the commissioners, and they were not even delivered to them then. Our notices to them, our letters to them were denied. Hopefully you will get our letters to these commissioners in a timely manner.
Our next speaker is Julia Pedroza.
Good evening on a lighter side. This is Julianne with Building Up Lives Foundation, and I brought Santa Claus with us. He's a little tired today because we've been doing trailer loads of toys and food. We wanted to come out and do a little shout out. If you're in need of toys, there is lots of resources in our city for toys, you guys. Reach out to us at buildinguplivesfoundation@gmail.com. We have flyers in the back here. 9 different ways to get free food in our city per week. So if you need food, if you need resources, they're there, as well as free clothing Monday through Friday to anyone that's serving anyone in need, social workers, law enforcement, teachers, any of that. Teachers can hand out vouchers to their students, and it will be for the entire family to get clothing. So the resources are there. It is a bit confusing because Building Up Lives has 4 different locations. We're trying to reach the community. So we have different locations. 92551 is our store. 92553 is one of our food banks and our 6-day-a-week pantry. And 92557 is our clothing area. And we do have a flyer in the back to kind of unconfuse it a little bit. But if you need resources, 951-550-5466. There is lots of resources. We're not the only nonprofit. There's quite a few out there. And I don't know if Santa has something to say. He is tired. We are tired today. But thank you so much, you guys. The city helps make this happen as well as the community. We are an all-volunteer nonprofit. We have 4 locations and about 5 core volunteers, and then various 22 to 275 volunteers on top of that. Just food bank alone takes 16,672 hours, 22 volunteers for the year to make 468 times we give out food for that year. So just giving you a little bit of numbers, it's a lot of work, and we are grateful that we're given that opportunity to be able to help our community. We love it, we enjoy it, we get to see lives change, which is, to me, amazing.
Do I start over with 3 minutes?
Yes. The next speaker is Armando Pedroza.
Thank you.
My name is Armando Pedrosa. I'm a volunteer, AKA Santa Claus. I'm watching everybody. And anyway, what Julie just said, she's right on the numbers, and these are numbers that reflect what we know of. There are other hours that we put in where we get a phone call, short notice, and that hasn't even been added into that, where we'll get a short notice call to pick up some food or some items, and we do it right then and there. We get a group of volunteers right away, and we do what is necessary to put the food out to the community. And there's a lot of work. You know, one of the things that I see is that the lack of volunteers. It doesn't matter what age. I'm here with a disability. I can't walk. My discs are all together. My spine is deteriorating. I just had a knee replacement, full knee replacement. My heart is out of whack. I'm carrying 5 stents in my heart. And I think that what we need to do is we need to get the young people involved with us, because we need to have a future for them. And for the whole community, they have to have hope. And that's what we instill. Mayor, you were there at one of our food distributions, and I've been doing it for the last 2 years, every single Sunday, every Sunday. And, you know, and we keep going and going and going. Sir, you got to see how many people were out there. And in the meantime, we were out there, we tried to instill hope. That's what we need, is hope. We need to know that there's something there in the future for our children. And I've seen people come in, families that live in cars. Okay, imagine if you and your family were to live in a car. Where are you going to get your resources? You know, you're looking up to the city for help. You're looking at the nonprofits, and we're limited to what we can do. But with us, we have the boots on the ground. We have people that have been volunteering and helping. And it's been a beautiful thing. It's growing exponentially. It is growing. And the beauty is, like I said, we see hope for the young and for the elderly. We take care of our elderly. We take care of those that are disabled. You know, and we're teaching the young people, here, carry the food out for those that can't do it. And it instills something in them. So I think that coming into the new year, I think that we need to just focus on hope for everybody. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
The next 3 speakers are David Nielsen, Richard Bolter, and Franco Pacheco.
All right, good evening, Mayor Cabrera, council members, and city staff. I'm David Nielsen, Operations Manager of Hole in the Wall. Just wanted to give you our 2025 year-end grant report. And so as of December 6, 2025, we come to the end of our 4th quarter. And our year total for clients is 280. It's an increase of about 4% compared to 2024's total of 269 clients. So our 2-year total of those served under the grant is 549 persons. So we continue to offer basic essential services, lunches, hygiene, clothing ID vouchers, birth certificate vouchers, bus passes, mailing services, referrals and placements into evidence-based housing. And so the foundation of our Community Homeless Solutions is our Essential Services Readiness Program. This helps enrollees to be work-ready, program-ready, benefits-ready, and especially housing-ready. In 2025, we provided 287 ID vouchers. In 2024, 250 ID vouchers for a 2-year total of 537 ID vouchers. And in the 2-year period, we have had 278 clients assisted and supported through mailing services, thus enabling them to receive crucial documents that affect their ability to access programs, as well as stay current with IEHP, EBT, SSI, SSDI, and other vital supportive services. In 2025, we implemented our birth certificate voucher program. We have assisted 5 clients in receiving their birth certificates, and this program also includes the cost of mailing and notary fees. So our motto at the Hole in the Wall continues to be, always leave a person better off than when they came by giving them a hand up, not a handout. Our success rate hovers around 37%, And here are some 2-year statistics for our successful referrals and placements. In inpatient treatment, substance use disorder, that's 25 persons. Recuperative care housing, 13 persons. Transitional living, 27 persons. Sober living, 14 persons. Emergency shelter programs, 15 persons. Rapid rehousing, 25 persons. Mental health housing, 3 persons. Board and care, 7 persons. Room and board, 5 persons. Domestic violence emergency housing, 3 persons. Emergency shelter for seniors, 8 persons. And families assisted into family housing, 6. So that's about 27% of our total client of 549. So that's 149 persons who have gone from unhoused to housed because of the Community Foundation Pilot Program grant. The remaining 10% of our successes used our supportive services while they navigated their own housing solutions. We are so excited, really, about our continued growth and our ability to make a difference in Moreno Valley, and we're so thankful to the City of Moreno Valley and the Foundation grant for this continued opportunity to provide services to our unhoused and homeless community. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Richard Bolter.
Good evening, Mayor, Council members. Once again, it's coming to the end of our 4th quarter of being in with your support for this year. I'm here to turn in the 4th quarter report. I got to say thank you, David. I mean, keeping track of all that has been exciting and fun. Let me tell you, these guys are doing everything and spreading out the dollars as much as they can to provide services for these guys. And we do have the new contract, and we want to say thank you for that, going over it and trying to really expand in our areas in that contract. Other than that, I'll keep it short and sweet. I look forward to working with you guys again for another year. If you do have any questions, please, about the financials, please just feel free to give me a call. I'm always available. I know it is a part-time volunteering job, but still it's a great job to have, you know, being a part of this team and what these what Dr. Benjamin Schuler and Mr. David Nielsen are doing for how did you put it, unhoused here, our members of the unhoused community, you know, which is a nice way to say it because they really are, you know, and it's getting cold out there. So anyway, thank you for allowing me to be a part of this. Have a good night.
The next 3 speakers are Franco Pacheco, Alexis Morelos, and Ismael Gonzalez.
Hello, Council. Good evening. Thank you for letting me speak here. My name is Franco Pacheco. I'm the founder of Inland Valley Alliance for Environmental Justice, with members spanning from Menifee, Paris, Mead Valley, Riverside, and Moreno Valley. And I've come here today to speak on the GPU and the importance of not approving any more warehouses while that's being handled, and to support members here in Moreno Valley and their disdain for warehouses, and to call on the City of Moreno Valley to follow suit with City of Redlands, which passed a warehouse ban, complete warehouse ban, and City of Paris, which just enacted a 45-day moratorium on warehousing to study the effects of air quality, truck traffic, and pollution on its residents as it relates to warehousing and distribution. I know it's no secret that warehousing here in the Inland Empire, especially this region, has affected our residents dramatically, from dropping our kids off in the morning, from truck accidents on the 60, on the 215, from all sorts of things, and even low wages, and now the risk of automation taking over all those warehousing jobs. So I call on the City of Moreno Valley to please follow suit and enact a start for a moratorium so that we can study the effects and come up with better protections for the residents of Moreno Valley and to better serve the region as it relates to air quality. Thank you.
The next speaker is Alexis Morelos.
Good evening, Mayor, Council members. My name is Alexis Morelos, and I'm a member of the Inland Empire Democratic Socialists of America. I'm coming here today also in support of my fellow organization over here, the Inland Valley Alliance, asking you to consider a warehouse moratorium for Moreno Valley. Last week, I was also present at the City of Paris, where even they have begun the work of proposing and have even approved their own warehouse moratorium. Moreno Valley is already one of the most warehouse saturated cities in the Inland Empire, and we're on track to add even more. City currently has 36 warehouses waiting to be built, as I understand, which is going to add tens of millions of square feet of industrial development and more than 13,000 daily truck stops onto the SR60 and local streets. The World Logistics Center alone will be 5 times the land area of Disneyland. And the effects of this growth are not some abstract idea. It shows up as more trucks, more pollution, and more damage to our roads. One trip by a 20,000-pound truck causes the same road damage as 10,000 trips of your average passenger car, and it decimates the air quality of surrounding residential areas, school zones, and neighboring cities. I know the Climate Action Plan and excuse me, it's losing my losing the name, but the Climate Action Plan includes the truck routes. And from what I've seen, Moreno Valley's own proposed truck routes pass near our schools: Sunny Meadows Elementary, Creekside Elementary, Sunnymead Elementary, Sunnymead Middle School, Moreno Valley High School, March Mountain High School, and also passes through our major recreational areas. That is unacceptable. As air quality worsens, health outcomes follow. Across the Inland Empire, children already experience asthma and respiratory illnesses at rates far above the state average. And so when we talk about these warehouses as economic developments, we need to consider the health of our residents, especially our children, as part of that cost. Warehouse developers often promise jobs, but really these are low-wage, high-injury jobs with an average pay of around $22 an hour, weak benefits, and little long-term stability. This model only serves to extract value from Moreno Valley while leaving, again, residents with pollution, infrastructure damage, and rising healthcare costs. Moreno Valley.
The next 3 speakers are Ismael Gonzalez, Chris Baca, and Lindsay Robinson.
Hello, good evening. Thank you for having this opportunity to speak. Hello, Mayor, council members, staff. My name is Ismael Gonzalez. I'm also a member of the Inland Valley Alliance for Environmental Justice, as well as the Sierra Club local chapter. And I just want to reiterate all the sentiments that the previous speakers have made so far. I implore this city council to consider adopting a moratorium based off of the current news stemming from all parts of the Inland Empire. I also hope to implore you guys to revise the general plan update and the climate action plan to satisfy Assembly Bill 98, as well as to consider sensitive receptors within the city. The recent news on December 9th, the City of Paris unanimously passed an urgency ordinance establishing a 45-day moratorium with the possibility of extending it to a year or even longer than that. The pause, which does not apply to warehouses that already have a building permit and development agreements, it's basically, the pause is there to study the effects of the impacts of the logistics industry on sensitive receptors and the environment during this time. Mayor Pro Temp David Rabb of the City of Paris said he does believe that the current status of the state of the warehouse development in the City of Paris poses a current and immediate threat to the public health, safety, and welfare, and approval of additional warehouses to further endanger that health. They are our neighbors. We share a lot of infrastructure with them. So what happens there happens to us. And by the look of the population, we have 4 times as many residents than they have. So we're impacting the environment more so than they are, and they're already leading the effort to, study the effects of this industry. They're taking a pause. Let me go ahead and read you a few other things to give you context as to where our city is at. Just today, the Harupa Times reported that 45% of inspected commercial vehicles taken out of service at a California checkpoint by the Riverside Sheriff's Department over in La Sierra, out of the semi-trucks that they inspected, 45 were taken out of commission. That's unbelievable, almost half. These trucks are visiting our city and causing damage to our streets, posing dangers to sensitive receptors all across the city. And then
Our next speaker is Chris Baca, followed by Lindsay Robinson, followed by Felicia Martin.
Good evening, staff, community, elected officials. Again, my comments are my own, and they don't reflect the views or opinions of anybody other than myself. For the official permanent public record, I would like, if I can get an answer to this question that I'm about to ask. Earlier today, I spoke with Ms. Marshall, I believe. God, I forgot her name. But anyhow, I called City Hall and I got some answers, but I would like this on the official permanent public records, and this is regarding Alessandro Street, which is scheduled to be closed effective January 10th for works that they're going to do. Apparently, they're going to be doing the streets, the sewer lines, and whatever public works that they need to do for the WLC. I was told that this is done and paid for by the World Logistics Centers, which it should be, rightly so. That's their agreement. That's what they agreed to do, and that's what he promised to do, and so forth and so on. It's on the public record if you look further. So my question is, back in, I believe, May 13th, the study session, and then after that, there was item F1 on capital improvement that stated that Alessandro was going to be paved and some sewer lines were going to be put in by the city. After that, I was told that it was not. And now that I see that this is happening, I want assurance that the city is not providing gifts of public funds to the WLC, and assurance that it has nothing to do with the MOU that has not even gone through any of the LAFMA process of annexation for the Gilman Springs project, which stated they were going to give credits for future tax revenue, which I believe boils down to them giving money that should have gone through the city council, approved by the city council, but yet it was given on a MOU, memorandum of understanding, for the Gilman Springs project that is cutting right through, which would be Alessandro. So it sounds fishy to me. So what I'm asking is, again, for the official permanent public record to state that there are no fundings by the city that are going inside of the World Logistics Center area, and that would be east of a little bit east of Redlands, on Alessandro to Gilman.
Our next speaker is Lindsay Robinson.
Good evening and happy holidays. I'm going to talk quick. With all these continuances, you should realize it's another severely flawed EIR, just like 2021. You should dump the project now and start from scratch. I'm very frustrated sitting in meetings and hearing staff lie about everything and not having a chance to offer a rebuttal to their lies. Staff who lie to the public or to the commissioners or to you need to join the unemployment line immediately. They don't belong in our city. Legally, we used to have 2 assistant city attorneys. They were let go without cause when Mr. Quintanilla was brought back. We are now currently supporting his private practice, which on the website moved to San Diego. His assistants make $400 an hour, and the 2 I've seen in action aren't worth $400 an hour. We need to bring back our own assistant city attorneys who have no ties to Mr. Quintanilla, so we have checks and balances. Otherwise, it's just what Mr. Quintanilla wants, and lawsuits are great for him, especially extending them because his staff make more money. Our staff get all excited about we're one of 8 cities who got an award for pro-housing or certification, whatever, but that actually means we are only one of 8 cities who were foolish enough to let the state dictate our housing. Putting tens of thousands of housing in an area that has no livable wage jobs, or very few, makes no sense whatsoever. They're either going to clog our roads or be unemployed. We don't have the public safety to serve tens of thousands of more residences. And the new governor may do away with that law, hopefully, if we get someone with common sense in there. The planning staff and economic staff have failed us for over 20 years, as other residents have pointed out, since the love affair with warehouses and Mr. Benzivi began. These warehouses didn't bring the promised livable wage, high wage jobs. And so again, bringing all these houses in without livable wage jobs is ridiculous. Public safety. You used fear to get the taxpayers to vote in more taxes for public safety. Where has all that money gone? We need more commercial truck enforcement teams, especially on the East End. Prologis' agreement was their trucks enter and exit only off Redlands, and yet they're all coming through on Moreno Beach against that law because, there's no enforcement out there. And Ito is so much smarter than everybody else that he built the roundabout too small for the trucks because he doesn't want them going by his office. The trucks were getting stuck and blocking up on the freeway, so that needs to be removed. MOU, how can you enter into financial agreements without it going through the council? And was it really in a study session?
The next speaker is Felicia Martin.
Good evening. So I am here on behalf of Jimmy's Smoky Barbecue, located at 23575 Sunny Meat Ranch Boulevard in Sunny Meat Ranch. So the owner of this shopping center has not allowed nor paid for the fire clearance for multiple business owners in this shopping center. Our restaurant has attempted on multiple occasions to contact the management and the city to intervene, but nothing has been done. We have went as far as ridding the shopping center of the negative drug environment to turn our place of business into a family welcoming establishment. We have followed all rules and done everything asked of us, including paying any and all fees for our business. We have been in the building almost 3 years, paying $2,500 a month, which equals over $90,000, and we're still not open. That is not chump change. This has been unnecessarily ongoing and extremely costly. The community is asking and demanding for a good Southern barbecue eatery, and we are trying our best to provide that, but we need your help. I'm appealing to the city to get us open. I will hope to hear from someone in the city expeditiously to get this taken care of by contacting the owner and holding him and his management company accountable. Thank you for your time and consideration in this matter.
Thank you, and we'll make sure that staff makes contact with you right now to follow up on that. Thank you.
The next 3 speakers are Dr. Benjamin Schuler, Luis Palomares, and Roy Bleckard.
Council Mayor, my name is Dr. Benjamin Schuler. I am the founder of the Hole in Wall Incorporated. And I'm just here to talk about the homeless problem, as always. And our organization is on boots on the ground, 3 days a week, providing services for the homeless that we all see every day. We're providing mailing addresses, we're providing lunches, we're providing places for them to come. We're also moving into 2026 looking to expand some of our services because we want to propose to the city a pilot housing program on a small scale that will house a minimum of 5 homeless people. The way we wanted to do that is we wanted to run the assessment process through our organization. We have the team, we have the drug counselors, we have the social workers on board. We also have access to mental health people that provide, that's certified. One of the things I wanted to see happen moving into 2026, and I want to thank the city for believing in our organization, even though we are small but mighty. Thank my team, David Nielsen, Richard Bolter. They work tirelessly to keep our operation in operation. But we want to work in conjunction with the city so we can provide whatever we can for those that are housingly challenged that we see every day. We don't need to pay, necessarily use security staff or the sheriff's department or whatever to move them, as long as we can provide the little things that they need that some of us might take for granted, like food and clothing. And we also want to provide job skill training. We want to work that out for 2026. We want to provide life skills. We also have a drug and alcohol meeting that we meet there 3 days a week, available to the homeless. When they come in for assessments, we direct them in the direction of getting real help. So our organization is here to say, hey, we're still here. Even though a lot of things has been said, we're here to represent the homeless that don't have a voice. We want to be that voice, but we also have some database of some success stories that I would like to bring to the ad hoc meeting. I believe it's tomorrow, if all possible, to show that there's been some life changes making a difference since we've been on this assignment. So I just want to say that. I'm not here to bash. I'm here to say we do have an issue, but we're willing, my organization is willing to continue with that process. Thank you for your time.
Our next speaker is Luis Palomares.
Wow, Luis Palomares, community activist. Our $2 million mayor is here today. Wow. There's going to be a vote today. Wow, yeah, we need you here, huh? Wow, imagine. That's very important, but the last meetings you weren't at, huh? One of the study sessions and one of the council meetings. Okay, this crowd is talking about a moratorium. Oh, wow. Let's see what happens with all that down the road. But, you know, Paris has done a moratorium. Oh, wow, good for them. But they already got all their buildings. How noble of them. You know, we could add some of those buildings. Then Riverside, they keep on building, and those trucks are on our freeway all the time. On the 60, we could have had a lot of that way back when with the logistics center. We would have been done there. But everybody built around us, and now they're putting their moratoriums. Well, you're going to ask Riverside to do a moratorium too, just like they're asking us here. So let's see what happens with that one. Now, as far as, you know, this city has spent so much money on lawsuits. The mayor has cost us a small fortune when he was using his credit card off the hinges. Daddy had to take the little pink Corvette away because he would have kept on charging it. Now, and then to fight the people that he tried to stop, trample over the First Amendment right, this family, the city, $2 million. We should have just gave him a blank check. $2 million. This mayor has cost us. I hope next year we're not going to go through all this again because we got a bully mayor here. I mean, and then he's got his sidekick here, Mr. Gonzalez. You know, how high do you want me to jump? Same mindset. They might throw him on one of the, you know, who knows what he's going to, what shoe he's going to fit next. But he's all involved with the mayor. So come on. You know, he don't have a mind to vote on his own. He votes always with the mayor, what the mayor wants. So let's do the right thing, Gonzalez, next time. You know, don't be a Marcus. Be your own man and do the right thing for the community of the city. Have a heart for our community, not for what you want, not your personal agenda and the mayor's personal agenda that has cost this city a fortune. Hillwood went away. That was a fortune. You know how much money? $60 million. That project went away. $60 million. Like I said, they're going to build, soccer fields, team posts. They were going to mow, water the grass, and give us millions of dollars. No, we send them away. This council, except for Mrs. Baca, right here, Santa Cruz, you all send them packing. Wow, how much money we would have been able to do a lot of things here in our community with that money for our kids. There's a lot of needs here for our kids. Come on, get real. We can't be giving money to churches. The churches should be giving us some money. Our community, our people, our kids that don't have. But we're giving money to the churches. Give me a break. Hypocrisy. That's you, Cabrera, and $15,000 you gave to the church, right?
The last speaker is Roy Blicker.
I find it interesting. George and maybe some of his merry band of warriors are encouraging us to follow the city of Paris. The city of Paris, who just passed a fiscal emergency resolution in their city. And they want us to emulate and copy the city of Paris. Call me crazy, but I fail to see the logic in their argument. Another thing, and we're coming to the end of the year, maybe in Moreno Valley we could wish everybody a Merry Christmas and have a Happy New Year. But that just seems impossible. We come up here with the negativity and this, and accusing the city staff and everybody of doing this, that, and the other. Now there's probably a couple, maybe Pete or so, that have probably been a greater critics of city staff or the council. But I don't see evil intent, and I don't see that the accusations that all this stuff is going on. Yeah, we can have disagreements, and we can have, this is what this forum's all about, but it seems we can never get to a point of having these disagreements or agreements, or where we can collaborate on things, and we never seem to get to that point. I would also encourage Shay to deliver her little rendition on me that she said about me at one of her public meetings and our interactions in between. I think it would be very enlightening, so you have my permission to say that. But again, we cannot get to the point in this city where we can truly have discussions, debate, topics that are actually going to move us forward. And I will say, putting the ideas on the table and taking the best ideas and putting them together, what will move your city, your county, your state, your nation, your world ahead. We have some positives. You can see the people, the members of the community helping them out. Those are the less unfortunate, but I will remind you that that problem has increased under government. I got to get a dig in there somewhere. But we, again, why I bring this up is putting these issues on the table is what ultimately, hopefully, will get us to a solution where we're not having to talk about this stuff, and we're actually putting a brighter future ahead for everybody in this city, country, nation. I hope people will take this to heart, work for that. Let's hope for a better 2026.
The next public speaker is Sue McKee.
Hi there. Good evening, Mayor and council members and staff. Thank you for an opportunity to speak. I'll keep my remarks brief. I realize item J1 is being continued. However, it's important for those of us who are here this evening who reside in the northeast portion of Moreno Valley to continue to speak in opposition of the Moreno Meadows, which is requesting a zone change from R2 to R10. Already mentioned earlier was about 18,000 units that have been built in Moreno Valley, which is great. I think any of us that we drive along Ironwood or Alessandro, we see housing up all over the place, and it's not just in one area, it's throughout the whole quarter. I'd like to request to make a public the letter from the California Department of Housing and Community Development, which supposedly explains why there's a lack of infrastructure, specifically in the northeast portion of Moreno Valley. If that letter has been posted somewhere, I'd appreciate knowing where it is on the website. Also, I understand the court indicated the city to, quote, set aside all zoning. I believe that was mentioned earlier, and you're supposed to continue to use the 2006 zoning. And that zoning does not include R10 in Northeast Moreno Valley, but rather it maintains it for R2. My husband and I sent a letter to each of you last month expressing some of the points I just noted and more. High density housing should not be approved in our area. It should remain R2 as instructed by the court. There'll always be development. All of us know that. But the final outcome can be directed. I'd welcome a meeting with any of you to discuss our concerns if you're open to it. And with that, I'd just like to say thank you and wish each of you a Merry Christmas.
Mayor, that concludes all public comments on items not on the agenda.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. We will go ahead and move to our next item on the agenda, which is item I, the joint consent calendars. Before I open the consent calendars for any public comment, I will ask my fellow council members if there are any items that they wish to remove from the consent calendar for any separate action. Seeing none, we will go ahead and move into public comment. Madam Clerk, do we have any requests to speak on the consent calendar?
Yes, we do, Mayor. We have Lindsay Robinson, followed by Christopher Baca, followed by Roy Bleckert.
Good evening again and happy holidays. I see under I 1.1 about municipal code amendments that under 2, you've included chapter 9.07, but the subsets aren't listed. And I want to be sure that 9.07.02 is not going to be changed. Mr. Quintanilla at the Planning Commission assured us multiple times that the PACO was going to remain in the northeast area where the large lot animal keeping. So I want to make sure you do not change 9.07.02. The PACO needs to remain, and Mr. Quintanilla assured us that it is not being eliminated like it showed in the original document. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Christopher Baca.
Good evening again. Again, my comments are my own. They don't reflect the views of anybody else other than myself. I.14, a resolution to gift a donation from SOPAQ Property Holdings for use for the World Logistics Center. There's nothing free when it comes to Benzivi or their WLC. Come on. There's a lot attached to this, which is going to eventually be incentives or gifts from the city, from the utility company, and there's going to be a lot of strings attached to it. So I'm just saying, I don't believe there's anything free from Highland Fairview, and you should really consider removing this and not accepting this. It's not going to be anything that's beneficial to our city. It's going to be a cost to our city. Again, nothing is free from WLC or Benzivi. He has his little advance that he pays for instance, he had this gala at his ranch. I think Council Member Bernard attended, where he had a scholarship fund. So he pays $20,000 to $30,000 to have an event that gives $5,000 in scholarships. The whole thing is to bribe people and make him seem like he's the greatest giver in the city. He's nothing but a farce. Everything in the city he does has a cost to it. It's not free. There's absolutely nothing free that he gives or provides to the city that doesn't have strings attached to it. Every dollar that he donates, he makes at least $1 million, $100,000 off of it. So don't buy into it. It's a bunch of BS. The good thing about the WLC is that probably we will only get 4 or 5 warehouses in there, and the project will be improved and approved, and we'll never see the man again. That's the good part. We won't see all those warehouses, but the bad part is you're going to be held stuck with all the improvements that the taxpayer has paid for, and he'll be out somewhere in the Mediterranean enjoying his life while the taxpayer paid for all his infrastructure.
The next public speaker is Roy Bleckert.
Ulysses Cabrera versus the city of Moreno Valley keeps coming up. This is a concern, and as I understand it, has been announced, it's cost us, our mayor has cost us, the citizens, $2 million. In a case that went first, the first part of it should have never happened. Why that is, we need to understand. Why I'm saying this is it should be put on the agenda. And first, this is my understanding, but I hope maybe Mr. City Attorney will clarify this. Let's get this straight on closed session. This is my understanding of it. You guys cannot discuss specifically what goes on in a closed session. You can discuss your opinions of whatever went on in there or what you think about it. So let's stop hiding a lot. This is one of the problems I have, is all of government, those on the dais, those in the staff, use this closed session part to keep a lot of secrets from us or to hide stuff or obfuscate. Yet you cackle a lot about transparency and this and open government and we're doing this. Well, let's be transparent. Let's tell us exactly what and why it's going on. These reports and these reports out of closed session and you should give your opinion on what went on and why we didn't put people under oath or why we didn't investigate or why we are doing these certain things. Because I think if we got this stuff out in the debate, maybe, and I think almost most likely, we would not find ourselves in the city of Moreno Valley with the financial $2 million gun pointed to our head, which was totally and unequivocally unnecessary except for one person's thrust and grasp and demanding absolute power.
The next public speaker is Luis Palomares.
I still have 38 left, don't I? Wanted to throw me off. I told you they don't like me coming up here.
Give him maybe another 5 seconds back.
Whatever. Oh, see, proves my point.
Please go ahead.
Oh, man. But again, and I'm not saying, and even though you can't put the spilled milk back in the bottle, what I'm saying is from this point going forward, let's put these things up on the table. Because we really don't want to find ourselves in the situation we are now, or have been, or the district attorney down here harassing us because of actions that went on in the city council. That day needs to stop. That day will stop when we get true transparency and accountability.
Okay, up next is Luis Palomares.
Wow, Roy. Luis Palomares, community activist. I agree with everything Roy said. Anyway, yeah, come on. Closed session, a lot of this stuff we could put in open session because we, the people, for the people, want to know this. There's so much stuff in the background that's going on that we should know. We find out after the fact when it's too late. Really, come on, let's change it up a little bit here. And you know what? We need some new leadership here, starting with the mayor right here. The mayor, you know, look at all he's cost us. You know, no transparency. The no transparency mayor. We need new leadership. Hopefully in November we'll get it, because that's why we're in so many train wrecks here in our city, and we're paying millions of dollars in lawsuits. $2 million, just $2 million a check. We, the taxpayer, are paying for that. And I'm going to be talking about it and putting flyers about there. The $2 million man here cost us that much plus, not even just $2 million in stuff he has sent away. Come on, when is it going to change? You know when it's going to change? When we get this guy out of there. When he loses the election, I pray and hope. And his sidekick here too. Thank you.
Mayor, that concludes all public comments on items on the consent calendar.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk, and thank you to all of our public speakers as well. We will go ahead and bring it back to the dais for any council questions or deliberation and a vote. Looks like we have a request from District 4.
Okay, thank you. There were some questions that were raised by a few constituents in regards to I-1 and I-14. Can city staff address the concerns that were raised in I-1 and I-14, please?
Yes. So I.1.1 is the second reading related to the item from December 2nd, which we call the Fall Omnibus. So these specific adoptions of this ordinance has nothing to do with the residents' comments, which is referencing the GP ordinance. This is specifically the second read of the first read and adoption of our Fall Omnibus, and has nothing to do with the chapter that was identified. The I-14, that World Logistics Center specific plan was approved in 2021, and the donation is pursuant to section 3.5.5. So council before you approved this specific plan requiring roughly 4 acres on eucalyptus and WLC to be reserved for the substation site and easement for battery energy storage. So those were the specifics that council approved in 2021. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let me ask you this. Did I answer all of the questions? Because there was 2 other items related to I-2 that...
Well, actually for I-2, I was going to see if city attorney wanted to address I-2.
I-2 was the closed session.
I was trying to figure that out. So with respect to closed session items, with the Brown Act specifies the situations or conditions or the reasons why you can go into closed session. It does not mandate that you go into closed session on these issues. So when it's requested to add something to the closed session calendar, I take a look at the Brown Act and I just advise the staff or whoever's asking whether or not it can go into closed session. But the council does have the right to bring matters out in open session to discuss. The only recommendation that I would make and strongly encourage the council not to do is to bring matters pertaining to personnel issues out in open session for discussion and or litigation or real estate negotiations, because that may disclose to the other side what our strategy is. And since most of what we discuss in closed session involves tax dollars, I would always encourage the council to do whatever you can with respect to discussing certain issues in closed session if we have tax dollars at risk. So again, we only go into closed session on matters that the Brown Act allows us to go in closed session on, but we are not required to go into closed session just because we are permitted to. Does that address the issue?
Yes, thank you. And that is all. That's all the questions that I have at this time.
Thank you. And I do have a couple of comments, maybe questions on a few items as well. The first one is number 15. It's I-15 on the consent calendar. That pertains to traffic safety, specifically a grant that we received, and now the award of a contract for allocation and investment of those grant funds. If staff could just briefly give an overview, because the whole point of this, the goal of this is to increase safety, traffic safety around our city. So if staff wouldn't mind just sharing a brief overview of what to expect from this award.
Thank you, Mayor. Actually, Melissa Walker, our Public Works Director, will be able to talk about the Caltrans-funded HSIP grant, which this covers. Thank you.
Yes, so this project aims to implement safety improvements at 15 signalized intersections located along high-speed roadways. Purpose of this project is to enhance visibility, increase safety for both drivers and pedestrians. So, and it's in part a continuation of getting the yellow bands around the signal heads and the various safety improvements along those lines.
Very good. I was curious. I looked it up, and there's a plethora of things that can be purchased or the funds can be used on.
Yeah. In fact, if you want to, so improvements include installations of additional lighting, advanced stop bars, high visibility striping, the retro reflective signal backplates, updated traffic signal heads, and illuminated street name signs.
Very good. Thank you so much. Just wanted to make sure that we highlight that for our residents, especially all those who drive on a regular basis. You may have seen some of those upgrades. Like you mentioned, the yellow striped traffic box signals that are going up around the city. The ultimate goal, again, is to improve safety and to make sure that we decrease any accidents and things of that nature. Thank you so much for that information. And then the second, I guess we could take them as a group of items, is 17 and 18, I-17 and I-18. There's a couple of items on consent related to Moreno Valley Utility. So also just wanted to highlight I-17 and that if you read the staff report, it goes into extensive detail about what it entails. But essentially, one of the things that I wanted to highlight was if this is adopted and approved this evening, that MVU customers will see on average 26% rate decrease for customers. So just wanted to make sure that we highlight that. We're doing the best that we can, especially during these times where, economic headwinds are greatly affecting all our constituents. We're trying to find innovative ways of bringing down energy costs and making things more affordable for our residents. And so I-17 is part of that mission. And then I-18, I'm not sure if staff would like to add anything to this, but wanted to just mention that this has been years in the making, getting us to this point of moving the city toward a more sustainable future where we are, investing into more energy, but specifically things like renewable energies, so that we can make our grid more sustainable and at the same time pursued new opportunities for the city as well through our own electric utility is something that not a lot of other cities have. And so I just want to commend staff. Thank you guys for putting in years of work, even our former city manager as well, and all of the staff that is not here that worked on this previously. Thank you for your years of work in getting us to this point. This is going to open up a lot of opportunities for our city. So much appreciated. And if staff would like to add anything, feel free to do so, but that'll conclude my comments.
I think the only thing that staff would like to add is for those residents that are looking at all of the upcoming items that will be changing with our Moreno Valley utility, there was a study session this past Tuesday that highlights that, and that Jason Nickley, who is the division manager over the utility, provided all of this information in a study session. That study session is available on the agenda website, and if there's any questions after that, please submit those particular questions to contact us at moval.org. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. And those videos are available, as the city manager said, on our website. You can also go on YouTube and our Facebook. Those videos are also on there. Again, that's the study session from last week here in the council chamber. I will look to my colleagues to see if there are any further questions, comments on the consent calendar. Seeing none, we can go ahead and entertain a motion and a second to approve the consent calendar.
I'll motion to approve the consent calendar.
I'll second that.
There's a motion and a second. Madam Clerk, please call for the vote.
Councilmember Bernard,
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez,
Yes.
Councilmember Delgado,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Baca Santa Cruz,
Yes.
and Mayor Cabrera.
Yes. Thank you. That motion carries unanimously. Next up, we will move into item J, which is our public hearings, and a public hearing, J1, just a friendly reminder that that was continued to a date uncertain. And we will go ahead and, just a point of clarification, do we still need to take up item J1, or can we go ahead and move into item K?
You already did that. You can move on.
Okay, thank you. So item K, general business. Public comments on each general business item shall be limited to 3 minutes per speaker and must pertain to the subject matter under consideration. Those wishing to testify are encouraged to complete a blue speaker slip to the city clerk's staff. Item K1 is city council reorganization, selection of mayor pro tem. This is something that we do routinely every year at this, actually in December of every year. And so first, we will go ahead and turn it over to our city clerk, for today, our city clerk, Ms. Sonia, for a staff report.
Thank you, Mayor. Good afternoon, Mayor and council members. Tonight's presentation, the recommendation that the City Council conduct the reorganization of the City Council by selecting one council member to serve a one-year term as Mayor Pro Tem. Summary, the City Council traditionally meets annually in December to choose one of its members as Mayor Pro Tem, with the new Mayor Pro Tem being sworn in and assuming office at the same meeting. Discussion. Any City Council member can nominate a candidate for Mayor Pro Tem without a second. An appointment requires 3 votes. If no one gets 3 votes, the process repeats with the top 2 candidates or is delayed to the next meeting. The new Mayor Pro Tem shall serve until the next meeting scheduled for selection for Mayor Pro Tem in December 2026. Thank you. That concludes the presentation for today's K1 general business.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. That brings us to any council questions of staff. Seeing no questions, we'll go ahead and move into public testimony. Madam Clerk, do we have any requests to speak?
Yes, we do, Mayor. We have Christopher Baca.
I really believe that if there are any potential candidates, they really shouldn't be chosen that are going to be running for re-election or election, any public election. So that would be 3. Well, the mayor can't be Mayor Pro Tem, but the other 2. So I would recommend that you extend Elena Santa Cruz for another year. She has done an extremely good job. I'm very impressed with her conduct and her manner. She should actually be the mayor. And I think Mr. Gonzalez is a little green still, so I would ask that you nominate and vote Mrs. Baca Santa Cruz. Thank you.
The next public speaker is Roy Bleckert.
If Elena wants to do the job again, I'm fine with that. I just hope the council this time will not make a fiasco out of the mayor pro tem election.
Mayor, that concludes all public comments.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. So that brings us back to the dais for council deliberation if desired. And I will look to my colleagues to see if there are any requests to speak. We'll go to Councilmember Bernard.
I would personally like to thank Mayor Pro Tem Elena Baca Santa Cruz for doing this for the last year. As has been said by folks, constituents in the audience, as well as just in general the last year, she served well. I would say that, and she would hate this comparison, but I would say that she has done just as good, if not as good as her mother, if not better, but I know she does not like those comparisons. So I just want to commend her on that, stepping up when she needed to step up and handle things when it needed to be handled. And so, but I will say, with that said, the one thing that I have concentrated on, especially when it comes to things such as pro tem, and trying to make it, as Roy just said, not a clown show, trying to make it as non-contentious as possible, and making sure that we're doing the right and the fair thing, because I truly believe to call balls and strikes, you have to call everything fair and make it fair. So with that, I would like to pass it back over to my colleagues, but I am looking at continuing the rotation so that everybody gets a chance to be Mayor Pro Tem. As we know, we'll have a new representative coming into D2 as he's chosen not to run again. So whoever that person would be able to come in and run too. I do think, as they do in other jurisdictions, you should keep it rotating and moving so that not one person is able to hold on to it.
Councilmember Delgado.
I agree that Elena did an amazing job. She stepped up when maybe the mayor couldn't make it to an event, or led the meetings when she needed to. So excellent job, and I know you had the best training. But what I will say is I agree. If we rotate, that's fine. The only thing I ask of a mayor pro tem is they represent our city outside of our city as well as our city, meaning if we go to an event outside, that person is looked at as a representative of Moreno Valley, and they're accessible, and they make themselves available when needed for our city. So great job, ma'am, and I agree that I think a fair rotation is fine. Mayor Pro Tem is more so ministerial, but there are times when that role calls for that person to step up. So I just hope whoever it is understands that and takes it serious.
Mayor Pro Tem Baca Santa Cruz.
Thank you very much. It has been my pleasure, my honor to serve this past year as Mayor Pro Tem. I don't hate the comparisons. I love the comparisons. I think that I've had the best role model in being a mother, public servant, a council member, a mayor pro tem, and most importantly, a grandmother. So with that, I thank you for letting me serve you. And I've had a lot on my plate this year as mayor pro tem. There's been a lot of time I've had to cover, and that really points me into the mindset that I don't want to be mayor. So thank you for allowing me to be mayor pro tem. And with that, I've had a wonderful year serving, and I also think it should be on a rotation. So with that, I nominate Erling Gonzalez for mayor pro tem.
I don't think we need a second. This one's a little different. I see D2 reaching for the mic there. But so a nomination has been made. According to the rules, we have to vote on that. I would like to just make the comment. I support the nomination, and also would like to thank Mayor Pro Tem Baca Santa Cruz for her tenure as Mayor Pro Tem, for serving in that seat. I think that now everyone on the dais, except for Councilmember Gonzalez, have served at least once in that seat. And so, as my colleagues have said, you know, it does come with a little bit of extra work, right? Obviously, the title and stepping in where needed, stepping up where needed, and making sure that the city continues to move forward. And I concur with the comments that have been said as well about making this process equitable and making sure that we're giving everybody an equal opportunity to serve as Mayor Pro Tem for the city of Moreno Valley. And so with that, just want to say that I support the nomination, and I will pass it over to Councilmember Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Baca Santa Cruz for that nomination. I'd be honored to serve as Mayor Pro Tem for this upcoming year. You've provided an example, Elena, for how being a Mayor Pro Tem should conduct themselves, and also of course Mayor Cabrera and the other council members who've, you know, as before I became council member, I saw a lot of YouTube videos where Councilman Delgado and Councilmember Bernard were Mayor Pro Tem. So there's a lot of wealth of knowledge and information and a lot of examples of how a Mayor Pro Tem should conduct themselves. So I am appreciative of this opportunity. It doesn't it shouldn't be taken lightly, and I will represent the city as to the best of my abilities. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And with that, I think without further ado, we can go ahead and call for the vote for the nomination of Councilmember Erlan Gonzalez as Mayor Pro Tem for 2026.
Councilmember Bernard?
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez?
Yes.
Councilmember Delgado?
Yes.
Councilmember,
No, I'm still Mayor Pro Tem until the vote.
oh, that's right, I'm sorry. Mayor Pro Tem Baca Santa Cruz?
Yes.
Thank you. Mayor Cabrera?
Yes. Thank you. And that passes unanimously with 5 yeses. Congratulations. Now, well, you still need to take your oath. I think, is that going to take place at this time? Okay. As soon as your oath is done, we'll officially call you Mayor Pro Tem Gonzalez. So at this time, we'll go ahead and get the microphone set up. Our city clerk will come up as well to administer the oath of office to Councilmember Gonzalez.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me.
I,
state your name,
Erlan Gonzalez, Councilmember Gonzalez,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
and defend
the
Constitution of the United States
Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance
to
the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation
or
purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now officially, Mayor Pro Tem Gonzalez. Congratulations once again.
Thank you, everyone.
And with that, we'll go ahead and move to our next item on the agenda, which is K2, background information regarding policy 1.01, rules of procedures for city council meetings, section 1.1.2.1, agenda order of business. And we will hand it over to our city manager, Brian Mohan, for a staff report.
Thank you, Mayor, council members. At the last meeting on December 2nd, Mayor Pro Tem at the time, Baca Santa Cruz motioned for council to review, and I'm paraphrasing here, review the policy to reorder the agenda so the report out of closed session meetings is made public the same night as the meeting, instead of waiting for the minutes, the meeting minutes, which aren't approved or made public until the next regular meeting. This particular motion was seconded by Councilwoman Bernard and approved with a vote of 3-0, with the mayor and Councilmember Delgado away from the vote. In preparing this, I did prepare that particular section that was referenced by the mayor, and it does describe the order of business for closed session, for the special recognition and presentations, and regular meeting, all of which are at 4 o'clock, 5:30, and 6 p.m. Respectively. In doing the research and so forth, because the order of the agenda does state for closed session, call to order, roll call, public comments on matters on the agenda only, closed session, report of action from closed session, if any, by the city attorney. So in talking with staff, it predates any of the staff here as to why closed session is not recorded. Typically right now we're recording audio only. So if it would appease council, I would suggest that really the order of business and the order of the agenda is proper, that we would just go ahead and I think it would meet then Mayor Pro Tem Baca Santa Cruz's ultimate goal of transparency if we were just to go ahead and video the closed session. In talking with the city clerk's office, the agenda software that we use does have the capability for a video link. In talking with our media team, they would be able to go ahead and kick off the video, have one file denoted for the entire session. So with that, I will leave the deliberation to you at the dais as to whether or not we reorder the business or we just keep the same agenda order and start videotaping our closed sessions. With that, I'm available for any questions you may have.
Thank you very much, Mr. City Manager. We'll go ahead and bring it back to the dais for any council questions of staff. Councilmember Delgado.
Brian, you said twice that you're going to record closed sessions. Does that mean record in this room, we break and recess into closed session, and then we come back to report, and all that's recorded?
Yeah, so basically everything that we do at the 4 o'clock here, up to the point where we have the closed session, where the attorney is basically stating the items that we're going to recess into. So from a video perspective, everything down here would be video recorded. When we actually recess to discuss those items, there would be a recess screen that states that we've recessed and we will be back to report out. And therefore, media will set all that up for us, and then the city attorney would come down, report out, and everything would be done that day.
Just like we do in regular council meeting on recess items.
Just like we do on regular meetings.
Thank you.
And a follow-up question on that, would that mean that, I hear recording, but would we also live stream? When we open the closed session and then when we come back down to report out, would we live stream just like our regular council meetings?
It would just be just like our regular council meetings. The file link and so forth is the same in the agenda software, and the media team will be running closed session just like they do regular.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Gonzalez.
And to your knowledge, Brian, do other jurisdictions do very similar closed session live streams as you indicated?
Yes, they do. It is hit or miss. It is based, and I think one of the residents stated tonight, it's based on each jurisdiction. There is nothing that prohibits us from doing it. There's nothing telling us from a governmental code that we have to do it. But it seems as if we are doing it for other meetings, that it would be appropriate to do it for a closed session.
Thank you.
Are there any further questions from the dais? Seeing none, we'll go ahead and move into public testimony. Madam Clerk, do we have any requests to speak on this item?
Yes, we do, Mayor. We have Roy Bleckert.
I'd like to thank Elena for bringing this forward, and I will tell you why this is important. Ulysses Cabrera versus Elmer Thomas. We were sitting here, we did not know that you had voted to take $2 million out of all of our taxpayer dollar pockets because of the actions of the dude sitting in the center of this dais and how we got there. This is the reason we need transparency, and it needs to be televised, everything, because you need to have the public comments that you guys had from you-know-who during that whole thing. You might even want to do that. But the county played this game with us too. We caught them on doing, some nefarious stuff with some nonprofits. They actually passed it and had to come back. Then they tried hiding these closed sessions again. Why? Because it made them look bad. Go look at Rainbow Pride. Mr. Gonzalez, you're down there at the county, you ask around. So this is what causes the mistrust. And this is why we should be informed immediately and at all times, and everything's transparent. There's nothing that goes on in a closed meeting. And if you would reform the way you're doing this with the subcommittees and everything and all that, like I've explained to you 9,437 times, it would all be public. We would all see it. And we could attend them, Shaylinda, like you try to get us, oh, why aren't you attending this meeting? Well, tell me how you attend the Utility Commission and the Arts Commission, same day, same time. And 9,000, and your record from last week, you guys don't even hardly attend your subcommittee meeting, or your liaison meetings and stuff. So you're castigating us for not coming? No, get us to a point. Make Moreno Valley the leader in something that we can be proud of, that we're leading the technology, we're leading the way you put government in, you're leading the way that participation flourishes instead of stifling it and hiding it, and we have to grind like no tomorrow for years and decades to get this stuff done. This is a small step. Thank you. Now let's try to run like Usain Bolt and faster and bring this stuff forward so maybe one day before I'm looking at the roots of the ground, I can say I'm proud to live in the city of Moreno Valley.
The next speaker is Luis Palomares.
Luis Palomares, community activist. Wow, this is a great day in Moreno Valley that we're going to do this finally. I mean, really, really, really. We need to really know what's going on behind the scenes. A lot of what goes on, we don't even know about it. We don't get a clue about it until way later when it's too late to come and say anything about it or give our opinions or whatever we think. We can't, be back there voting, but at least we can know what the heck's really going on here in our community. Because there's so many people. The $2 million man, they don't know about it yet. I'm going to spread the news every place I go now. People are saying, what? Are you kidding me? Really? Really, really, really? Yeah. So this is great that we're going to be doing this, and I am so glad. And as far as transparency, there's a whole lot of that not going on, but there's a whole lot of it that should be going on, because how we the people gonna know? So thank you for doing. I'm tired. Thank you for. Hey, let's go forward. Let's turn the page. Let's make this a city on a hill. Thank you.
Mayor, that concludes all public testimony.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. We'll go ahead and bring it back to the dais for any council deliberation. I'll just add that I'm glad that we're finally doing this. We've had brief discussions about this in the past. It's kind of come up as to why we don't live stream or record the video for closed session when we open and when we report out. Of course, as has been already said and is obvious, but I feel like it needs to be said, the actual closed door closed session is confidential. That is not information that is readily available to the public. As our city attorney mentioned, there are many reasons why those conversations need to stay behind closed doors for many legal reasons. And so just want to thank our staff for working on this, and I'm glad that this is finally going to become practice. Thank you. And at this time, if there's no further deliberation, we can entertain a motion and a second.
Motion to approve as written.
Second that.
Okay.
There's a motion and a second. Madam Clerk, please call for the vote.
Councilmember Bernard,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Gonzalez,
Yes.
Councilmember Delgado,
Yes.
Councilmember Baca Santa Cruz,
Yes.
and Mayor Cabrera.
Yes. Thank you. That motion carries with 5 yeses. And that brings us now to item L.
Excuse me, Mayor. Just wanted to let you know that we will implement this for the January 6th meeting.
Very good. Thank you. So item L is our Regional Commission Committee and Board reports. We do have a few this evening. Just to double check, RCHCA, I don't think we have one this evening. So we'll go ahead and move to the next one. I have 3 updates. 3 different boards that I'll be providing updates for. The first one is for RTA. Excuse me, it's for RCTC. This is for the meeting held on November 24th, and the committee approved the revised Riverside County Transportation Commission and Western Riverside County Regional Conservation Agency Procurement Policy Manual for the procurement and contracting activities undertaken by the agencies pursuant to legal counsel review as to conformance to state and federal law. The next meeting is scheduled to be held on December 22nd. And that'll conclude my report on the last RCTC Commission Budget and Implementation Committee meeting. Is that? I thought you were talking about the report. I'm sure staff can find you another one. Okay, so RCA, I'll be providing the update for RCA as well. This is for the meeting held on December 1st. The RCA Board of Directors received reports for the following: Western Riverside County MSHCP fee collection for August and September, joint project review status, acquisition status, monthly investment for August and September 2025, single signature authority, quarterly financial statements, and DIF fee annual report for fiscal year ending June 30th, 2025. The board also approved the adoption of resolution number 2025-015 for approval of grant and subgrant agreements for real property by the Executive Director, adoption of resolution number 2025-014 to amend bylaws regarding board selection and approval of executive committee members, and the 2026 Board of Directors Executive Committee meeting schedule. Staff provided an update on state and federal legislation, which included anticipated key policy issues for 2026. The board motioned to approve and adopt the board's 2026 state and federal legislative platform. The board received a presentation on fiscal year 25 audited basic financial statements, which consisted of a scope of services, recap and results of the audit. Additionally, the board received a statement on auditing standards number 114 report, which requires the auditor to make certain annual communications to RCA's governing body regarding the audit of their financial statements. In regards to the election of RCA officers, the board motioned to approve Kevin Bash as RCA chair and Karen Spiegel as RCA vice chair. Finally, staff provided a presentation on the reserve of the month, Tejana Corridor, approximately over 860 acres located in the southwestern part of the planned area. The next Board of Directors meeting is scheduled for January 5th, 2026. And 2 more here, please bear with me. These are both for SCAG. The first one is for the Legislative Communications and Membership Committee meeting. At that meeting, we received an update for SCAG memberships and partnerships. We approved the $7,500 allocation to maintain SCAG's membership in the Coalition for America's Gateways and Trade Corridors, also known as CAGTC, which wants to expand U.S. freight transportation capabilities and raise awareness on the need for funding for trade corridors, gateways, intermodal connectors, and long-term solutions for freight investment. We also approved the 2026 committee calendar of meetings. Additionally, the committee received updates on the following: Community Development Block Grant, Road to Housing Act, U.S. Senate Bill 2651. The Road to Housing Act is a comprehensive bipartisan housing package that combines 27 previously introduced bipartisan bills and 13 new ones to increase the nation's housing supply, improve housing affordability, and enhance the oversight and efficiency of federal regulators and housing programs. Also, SB 375, Modernization Update, required the state's 18 metropolitan planning organizations to develop a sustainable community strategy to achieve greenhouse gas reduction targets related to the use of cars and light-duty trucks. Adopted in 2008, the bill set reduction targets for 2020 and 2035, which were determined by the California Air Resources Board. While this bill has led to several major improvements, the concern is that in the last 15 years, there have been significant changes that have impacted the effectiveness of the program. The goal of the new structure of SB 375 is as follows. Number one, improve transportation access for all people to jobs and daily needs, as well as efficient movement of goods. Number two, reduce GHG emissions from transportation sector. Number three, develop fiscally realistic transportation plans that meet federal and state requirements. Number four, support land use patterns that conserve land and affirmatively further fair housing. And number five, increase investment in sustainable infrastructure that supports resilient regional economies that create opportunities for everyone. The California Transportation Secretary introduced a Sustainable Communities Task Force, which will build upon SB 375. This two-year task force will address the long-term operational challenges as well as funding. And finally, the 2026 policy priorities. We received updates on potential reforms to SB 375, SB 79, the Regional Housing Needs Assessment, RHNA timelines, and state budget requests. SB 79 aims to increase housing supply by streamlining housing development near transit. That was signed by Governor Newsom on October 10th. SCAG is leading the Regional Transportation Demand Management Workstream for the 2028 Summer Olympic Games as well. That'll conclude my report for the LCMC meeting. The next one is scheduled on January 20th. And my final one here is a shorter one, also for SCAG, for the Regional Council meeting. At the SCAG Regional Council meeting held on December 4th, the council approved a contract amendment for security guard services, a contract amendment with ACOM on technical services to assist local jurisdictions in resilience planning, contract amendment for videography services, and approved to maintain membership in the Coalition for America's Gateways and Trade Corridors. The Regional Council also received a presentation on the Surface Transportation Block Grant Program, STBG, and Congestion Mitigation and Air Quality Improvement Program, CMAQ, on the process to project nominations, which resulted in a project list and contingency list. The project award list consists of 130 projects totaling $1.25 billion. SCAG staff will work with project sponsors to program these funds in the Federal Transportation Improvement Program, allowing project sponsors to begin the project obligation process. Additionally, the council received a December legislative report. Updates from the state included the Senator Monique Limon was sworn in as Senate President Pro Temp on November 17, 2025, and that California voters passed Proposition 50 for new congressional districts. On the federal side, the longest federal government shutdown in U.S. history ended on November 12, 2025, which lasted 43 days. Additionally, an update on the appropriations bill was provided. The next SCAG Regional Council meeting is scheduled for February 5th, 2026. And that'll conclude my reports for this evening. And we will go now to Councilmember Bernard for the Riverside Transit Agency.
Thank you, Mayor. Tonight I'm providing updates from the Riverside Transit Agency Board Administration and Operations Committee meeting held on December 10th, The board approved an amendment to agreement number 20-001 with Pro Park LLC for fixed route transportation services. The contract includes a 3-year base term with 2 one-year options. The approved contract is for a not to exceed amount of $67 million. The agency and Pro Park are currently in the second option year, which expires June 30th of 2026. The board also approved a list of credit generating projects list for submittal to WRCOG for funding. The next meeting will be held on January 14th. That concludes my report on the last RTA Board Administration Operations Committee meeting.
Thank you, Councilmember. Next, we have Councilmember Baca Santa Cruz for an update on WRCOG.
Thank you. Tonight I'm giving a update from the December 1st, 2025 WRCOG Executive Committee meeting. There was reports for fiscal activities, committees, agency activities, and various external committees were received and filed. Additionally, the Executive Committee discussed the following key items. Consideration of a new commercial PACE program provider, the PACE Loan Group, LLC. WRCOG administers a statewide commercial property assessed clean energy CPACE program. In March of 2024, the Executive Committee directed staff to add new CPACE program providers. PACE Loan Group, PLG, is a nationwide CPACE company which has requested to join the program. Following vetting from staff and meetings with WRCOG PACE Ad Hoc Committee and an Administrative and Finance Committee, the Executive Committee authorized PLG as new WRCOG CPACE program provider. Top construction cost index adjustment for 2025. The WRCOG is required to bring forth on an annual basis a recommendation for CCI adjustments for TUMP fees. Currently, this process is done each year and the adjustment is considered and approved if implemented. The current adjustment was calculated to 2.6% based on data regarding public works construction costs and right-of-way costs. This adjustment would become effective July 1st, 2026 if approved. The CCI would be capped at 5%, but could decrease as well. The Executive Committee approved implementation of a CCI for July 1st, 2026, and authorized that this adjustment be applied automatically using the same process for future years. Number 3, IREN 2028-2035 Business Plan Application. The Inland Regional Energy Network, IREN, is a collaborative effort between WRCOG, CVAG, and CBCOG to implement energy efficiency programs under the authority of the CPUC. The funding for IREN is on a 4- and 8-year cycle and will expire December 31st, 2027. In order to maintain funding for IREN, a new business plan application is due February 2026. The new proposed business plan application will include continued funding for the 3 existing sectors: IREN, public, codes and standards, and 3, workforce education and training. Finally, the website redesign and launch. WRCOG partnered with Planetaria Media to replace its outdated website with a modern, accessible, and user-friendly platform. The new site includes improved navigation, mobile responsiveness, accessibility compliance, an AI-powered chatbot, and easier tools for staff and the public to access documents. It also includes a dedicated transparency portal in line with the Special Districts Leadership Foundation's guidelines for transparency for public agency websites. The project has completed its phased development and is now live at www.wrcog.us, aligning with strategic plan goal number 4 to enhance communication. The next meeting will be February 2nd, 2026 at 2 p.m. at the County Riverside Administrative Center on Lemon Street. This concludes my report for WRCOG.
Thank you very much, Councilmember. And that will bring us, I believe that concludes all of our regional reports.
District?
Oh, yes, School District Joint Task Force.
Councilmember Bernard and I attended the School District City Joint Task Force meeting this afternoon. There were updates from several partner agencies, including Moreno Valley Police Department reports the December community activities, which many of us were able to attend. Most recently, there was the Christmas tree giveaway, Shop with the Cop at Target and Walmart, serving approximately 45 children. The annual banquet, which is holiday cheer, last week here at the conference center, and the holiday parade is scheduled for December 22nd, beginning at 11 a.m. Leftover toy donations will be distributed to community members. Parks and Community Services reports that this Thursday is the grand opening for the flight deck pump track. The ribbon cutting is scheduled for Thursday, December 18th from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. This is the first asphalt jump lane pump track in Southern California, featuring ambient glow lighting and celebrating Myrna Valley's aviation heritage. So we invite you to come out and see the new pump track opening this Thursday. Because the schools are going on winter break next week, we do have our winter day camp. They are 3 weeks, December 22nd through the 26th, December 29th through January 2nd, and January 5th through the 9th. There are still openings in all 3 weeks of camp. Move through Moval, the mobile community center, is operating weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. at rotating locations. And our first ever daddy-daughter dance will be January 30th, and the fee is $25 for the father-daughter couple. And if you have more than one daughter, you can register additional daughters for $6 each. This registration will be opening soon, so you can get in on that. Once again, it'll be January 30th. And finally, from Parks is the Call to Artists. There's 2 programs, the Utility Box Art Program, where there's 32 designated locations available, and the Art Loan Program, looking for opportunities for artists and students to display their artwork at city facilities. The exhibition period is February through May, and the application deadline for that is January 9th. Our transportation engineer department provided the following updates. Traffic signal improvements. Additional grant funding has been secured to replace the traffic signal backplates at approximately 61 intersections throughout the city. Once completed, this will bring our total number of roughly 100 of the city's 200 plus signalized intersections will feature the upgraded high visibility backplates. Work may cause brief intersection disruptions, but crews are completing upgrades every 2 to 3 days to reduce the disruptions. And finally, our truck route updates. There's a draft revisions are underway and pending finalization of the general plan update. Our partner Think Together provided some updates of their end-of-year activities, gave us numbers for their program participation, including 183,000 students in Valverde, 341,000 students in Marina Valley in the after-school program, and 9,000 students in Valverde's before-school program. So there's a lot of students and families receiving services from Think Together. And then finally, at the STEM and enrichment, their students were able to participate on hands-on DNA and genetics lessons. They're having a food drive ending December 12th. That one ended. They collected 80 cans and donated it to Feeding America. And they'll be launching parent workshops in January on after-school importance and bully prevention. The school district of Valverde said that they're concluding their semester, getting ready for winter break, and that they've hosted their first ever youth football championship, which was Marina Valley versus Valverde on a Saturday. So a lot of students and parents were able to come out, and they want to continue that for next year. Marina Valley College provided updates that the academic calendar, this is finals week for the fall semester. Winter term will begin on January 5th, and the spring semester will begin on February 7th, and there's a lot of courses available. They also held a ribbon cutting for their new organic chemistry lab, supporting the college's transition towards comprehensive offerings. They have a MLK Junior Scholarship Ceremony Friday, January 29th. It's open to all Marina Valley college students and high school students from Valverde and Marina Valley. And they are shared with us that Marina Valley College now offers the first bachelor program in the region. You will soon be able to receive a Bachelor of Science in Emergency Management for $10,000 here at Marina Valley College. So that's a big break. And finally, they invite you to the Makerspace. It's open for public use. They said that they have equipment including 3D printers, laser cutters, Cricut machines, and garment printing, all at no cost. So if you're looking for last-minute Christmas gifts, they invite you over to the college, and they said there's no cost for the materials either. So I'm thinking about heading up there. The county supervisor's office provided updates regarding their food drives and the foster pets program, where residents can foster up to 2 animals from the San Jacinto shelter and receive $25 per night per animal, up to 3 weeks. And finally, our animal services has shared that, I wrote this one down, December 16th through the 19th, from 10 to 5, and December 20th, Saturday, from 10:30 to 3, we are having Home for the Holidays. So if you're interested in adopting a dog or puppy, $25 gets you the spay, vaccine, and chip, or a cat, kitten, $15 gets you that adoption, spay, vaccines, and chips. The next meeting will be February 17th, following the President's Day holiday at the Moreno Valley Conference and Rec Center. This concludes my report.
Thank you. Next up, we will move into the Employee Association report. We do not have one this evening, which brings us to the famous City Manager's report.
Thank you, Mayor. Council members, as most of you will probably talk about an upcoming ceremony that was mentioned by Councilwoman Baca Santa Cruz this Thursday. I will not add anything to that. So therefore, I'll just add wishing you a Merry Christmas, a happy holiday season to all of our residents as well. Keep an eye on when the City Hall will be closed for the holidays as well. But to the staff, thank you guys for a wonderful 2025. Looking forward to all of the various things that are coming up in 2026 with projects, capital improvement projects, and some of the stuff that's going on in economic development. So wishing everybody a happy holiday season. Spend time with your family and stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. City Manager. That brings us to council closing comments, and we will go to District 4, Councilmember Bernard.
Thank you. I want to first wish everyone a happy holidays and a happy new year. Please be safe out there. I know this weather has us all a little crazy because it's 70s and 80s, but hey, that's what California is about. We famously, I guess I can quote Tony Tone. It never rains in Southern California, and it is obviously not happening currently. So please, please, please. I know for a lot of us around here, we are stretching every dollar and making it all count for this holiday season. If you are able to, please take somebody in, buy some gifts for some children, or even an elderly person. And also, please check on your elderly friends and neighbors. They are often forgotten about during the holidays because we get so caught up in the children that we forget those that have always taken care of and have aged, as I like to call them, my golden agers. So please remember them, take care of them, drop off some food. If you haven't seen them in a few days, they're probably sitting in their house and hoping that someone comes to visit them. As our children are getting out of school, I know a lot of us have Christmas programs. I had one today. I have another one on Thursday. Please, if you're able to go to those, go. Stay the entire time. Some people's parents can't get off of work. And so, I say stay the entire time and scream and cheer just as loudly for all those babies, because sometimes, parents are out here working and trying to figure it out. If you're doing gift exchanges, I know for my children's school, they're doing a sock exchange. I bought 3 pairs of socks because it gets hectic and it gets busy as a parent, and you may think you remembered, and then the day comes and you forget. So I guess I want you to hear that what I'm saying in all of this is think about somebody other than just your little circle and your little friend group, because a lot of people are doing the best they can with what little they have. And so with that, I close for the night.
Thank you. Next up, District 3, Councilmember Gonzalez. Or Mayor Pro Tem. See, I got to get into the habit of it. Mayor Pro Tem Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to say a few comments. First off, it was a great opportunity showing at the tree lighting ceremony, where all of us were there, and seeing all the residents and staff and participate in this my first tree lighting ceremony. It was spectacular. The dolls, I was really impressed by their performance, and just the friendly faces, the children laughing and singing along with them. So it was a great event, and just the tree lighting components. It was nice to be out there. Perfect weather again, Southern California weather, as Councilmember Bernard said. Also, last week. Past Friday, went to the Robert Garcia Boxing Association event with some of my peers here, it was first time there. Just the facilities, the gym, the testimony of the people that were participating in that event, and seeing the boxers and how they. I'm a boxing fan, but I've never seen a professional boxer, right next to me. So it was something to see, and the work and the discipline that these individuals do to be at their highest performance is amazing, and it's something that anyone can aspire to. So it's great. And also all the programs and what the foundation is doing with our youth here in Moreno Valley and in the local environment. And also it was something I didn't know, and something that Robert Garcia mentioned, of course, the expansion that they're wanting to do next door. And they mentioned they want to bring some live fights here in Moreno Valley. So I think it's a great opportunity for the city to embark with them on that, and also to bring more attention to Moreno Valley and what we can offer from a sports entertainment perspective. Hopefully we can capitalize on that, and I know we will with our team and our staff. So this Thursday, Pump Track, please be there. It's the great project in Moreno Valley, District 3, and looking forward to all the residents to attend, and our youth to take advantage of these facilities that are state-of-the-art and not too many around. So it's something to put our hats on and make sure that Moreno Valley is moving forward and shining in these type of infrastructure projects for the residents and for as a showcase for what Moreno Valley can do. And finally, I just want to end with Feliz Navidad, Merry Christmas to your families. Thank you for this 2025 to staff and to people watching on all our platforms. I know that sometimes it's difficult to be up here on the dais, and sometimes we can agree to disagree, but I know that 2026 will even be better than 2025. We have a lot of great projects. I know with our economic development team, we'll see some new and exciting things. So I'm excited for this coming up year, and I look forward to working with every one of you here on the dais. And Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, District 2, Councilmember Delgado.
I will be fast. December is typically a slower month for most, but you guys keep us busy. So we have been out and about quite a bit in December, and I'm sure the next year will be just as busy. I attended the groundbreaking ceremony for the construction of $133 million 2 hangars at the March Air Reserve Base for the new KC-46 refuelers. The KC-135s are outdated, and there was a huge bidding process for which Air Force Base or Air Reserve Base was going to take in the KC-46, and we got it here at March. It's going to take about 3 years, over $133 million for 2 hangars and a runway for them. We talked a lot about our local nonprofits, and you heard some of the public speak. Please utilize our nonprofits that are here in the city. They do great work, and it is unselfishly for everybody else and not them. So if you need help, there's help out there for you. And a segue into that, Moreno Valley Unified School District, their health and wellness center is up and running. They pass out food, clothes. They have washers and dryers for folks that need them. And they're not necessarily homeless people. They're people that just don't have a washer and dryer, that they need a load of clothes for their kids at school. So they take care of that. So between the nonprofits, the Moreno Valley Unified School District Health and Wellness Center, and the Burke for jobs, if these folks need it, the city of Moreno Valley offers absolute wraparound services for anything that anybody needs. So please utilize those. In addition to that, we have a homeless to work program. So we are doing a lot of good stuff, and these guys in the well are doing a lot of good stuff for our residents in the city of Moreno Valley. We just approve policy and tell them where to spend the money, but they're doing all the work. So like Erlan Gonzalez said, as we close 2025 and move into 2026, I hope that we can continue to do great work for our city and put the residents first, and not this whole process that we do up here is not for us. I know that the $2.72 an hour really entices folks to do this, but yeah, it's really not for that. So, and I do want to, we attended the Robert Garcia boxing. I went again last night because when we were there Friday night, it was like dignitaries and Robert and his boxers were there and they were explaining what they do. But I wanted to go see it live, like what they're doing, and they have outgrown that place for sure, 100%. So that'll be coming in the future, hopefully in 2026, an expansion, and then like Mayor Pro Tem said that hopefully we will get some venue and some boxing here in the city of Moreno Valley. Merry Christmas to each and every one of you folks that work for us in the city of Moreno Valley, residents out there, our school district, our teachers, our crossing guards, our sheriff's department, our firefighters. Thank you very much for an awesome 2025. Let's go into 2026, ready to work, and please make a difference. And I always say this, but if you make a difference in someone's life, they're going to remember that for the rest of their lives. So, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, everything. So, we'll see you guys next year, 2026. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, Councilmember Banca Santa Cruz.
I know I said it in my report from the Joint Task Force, but I'd like to reiterate, we are having the Home for the Holidays at our animal shelter. If you're interested in adopting a cat or a dog, it'd be $25 or $15. Includes everything that you could possibly need. Spay, vaccine, chip, and we even have some food and other things that we can give out. We're trying to get these animals out of the shelter into living homes. So if you have the room and the resources, please think about doing that. I did attend several events since the last meeting, including our annual snow day, which is great to be out there on the snow. I know it's never rains in Southern California, but it snowed a couple weeks ago, so that was nice to be out there. Otherwise, I'd never use my snowsuit. So that was good, followed by the holiday tree lighting, which is always great to see the Time for Tots up there singing. It was really great to see our sign language interpreters at the event. I don't know if you've noticed them, but I have been posting about them, and we've had them, I think, for a year now at our event. So that's really nice to see. I've also attended Environmental Historical Preservation Commission last week. They continue to work on their work plan. The commissioners attend, they're engaged, they participate. They ask lots of questions, and I appreciate all of them. And I just want to thank them for their commitment to the commission. I have Utilities Commission tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to that. If you have time in your schedule, come on out, 6 o'clock, right in this room. There's always a informative presentation, so you get to learn a little bit and take it out into the world with you. So I invite you to that. Last week, after Environmental Historical Preservation, we cut the meeting short a little and headed across the parking lot and enjoyed the Wind Symphony. So thank you, Lindsay, for inviting us. She saved the front row, so even though we were getting there right as it started, it was a wonderful, packed performance. I didn't realize how many people would come out, but when they were playing, you would think no one was in the room. It was so quiet. The music selections, incredible. If you like Harry Potter and you've seen the Goblet of Fire, and the two different schools, the guys' school and the girls' school, come in and they make all that noise, that you can literally see the scene playing out in front of you listening to that symphony. So that was my favorite song. And my favorite was when you get to do the raffle, and the little girl that won last year won again. I think she's buying all the tickets, but she conducted the orchestra again. And it was so nice to see. So it was really good. I enjoy going. There's 4 performances a year. If you haven't been yet, please take the time and head out to see our Moreno Valley Wind Symphony. I also attended the Robert Garcia Foundation boxing event on Friday. That's at the mall, District 1. If you are looking for some activity to put your kid in, you might want to head over there and look at the award-winning Robert Garcia's boxing gym. I also attended the Chancellor's Holiday Reception, and of course, I already shared, but Holiday Cheer next door, where we were able to serve families, some who had never been out to a restaurant. One person told me she'd never had stuffing. So it was really good to be out in community. There was, God, Chief, you had probably, 30 officers out there serving the kids, engaging with them. It was great. I stayed all the way to the end till we picked up all the tablecloths. So it's a great way to give back, and I really enjoy attending that each year. So thank you for the invitation. Upcoming this week, I do have we have a holiday gathering at Marina Valley College. 2 businesses in District 1 have invited me over for their employee dinners, and as well, we'll be at St. Christopher's for the posadas this week. So if you have a chance to come out, you can come out to that. And with that, I just want to say thank you to all the employees, those of you here in the chamber with us, those of you who work throughout the city. Thank you so much for making Marina Valley so great. Marina Valley doesn't run without the people. The people would run the city, so I appreciate all your hard work. It does not go unnoticed. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. You make me look good when I say I represent the city. I'm out there and people give me congratulations and kudos for the work that you do. So I'm telling you from them, thank you so much for making Marina Valley a great place to live, work, and play. And with that, happy holidays, happy winter solstice, happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa, Merry Christmas, happy New Year's Eve, happy Christmas Eve, and Happy New Year. See you next year.
And to wrap it all up here, a few comments. Try not to repeat some of what has been said, but to give you a few updates as well. Earlier this month, I was able to attend the League Leaders for the League of California Cities out in the desert. Our city manager was there as well. He was actually a panelist, so I appreciate him making the time to go out there and shine a spotlight on the work that Moreno Valley is doing. We talked about a lot of things. Some of these conversations get really in the weeds, but one of the big highlights from that League Leaders meeting is the updating of our priorities for the League of California Cities for the Board of Directors. And so this year, public safety was moved back into the top 4 priorities for the California League of Cities. Prop 36 and funding for that was specifically one of the things that was hammered at. Also on the top 4 is climate resiliency and infrastructure. The other one was unfunded mandates and economic development. And then the 4th one relates to, what was the 4th one? So public safety, climate change, infrastructure, economic development, and I'm blanking on the 4th one, but it'll come back to me. It's just really, really in the weeds discussions that sometimes get kind of heated, but at the end, we're able to come to a consensus and come to an understanding on what the priorities will be heading into 2026. Also had an opportunity to attend Snow Day with my wife and my son and my daughter for the first time, so they had a lot of fun. And the tree lighting ceremony, of course, beautiful performance with the snow and everything, so appreciate staff as always for putting on an amazing event. And then I just want to talk briefly about another event that I was able to attend. I got an invitation from, he goes by Mateo Sanchez. He's a resident of Moreno Valley since 1999. He made it onto the Forbes 30 under 30 for retail and commerce, which is a really, really big deal. And he invited me out to the Japan House in Los Angeles as he was being recognized. And he also was one of 3 Latinos in the entire state of California that was selected by the Japanese government and the city of Los Angeles to participate in what's called the Kakeshi Project. So they took 3 Latino entrepreneurs, super sharp, bright, young entrepreneurs, to Japan to really just get immersed in so many different things, the education system, the policies, to learn about different things that they're doing out in Japan. And it was really eye-opening to hear their experience and even hear some of the policy recommendations that they brought back. One of them that they talked about was PPP, the public-private partnerships, and how they do things slightly differently in Japan. So that was really eye-opening. Appreciate Matt for that invitation. And then I also got a chance to meet and talk to the general consul of the Japanese government for Los Angeles. And one of the topics that we discussed was a potential sister city opportunity, they were really excited about that conversation. So hoping to bring that back and see, what my colleagues think about that and see where it goes. I think that would be an amazing opportunity for our city to build off of what we're doing with San Juan de los Lagos. And then lastly, just want to finish off the year on a really positive note here. There's a lot of exciting things that are happening here in the city of Moreno Valley, thanks to my colleagues on the council, thanks to all of our amazing staff, the best staff in the state of California. And I'm going to kind of rapid fire through all of these because there's so much that is happening. Pump Track this Thursday at 4 p.m., the largest one in Southern California. We hope to see you there. The city's first ever museum that's opening in the spring of 2026. The brand new dog park opening up in District 2 around next summer. Sunnymead Ranch Library, also the 4th library in the city of Moreno Valley, that is opening next year as well. Senior Center expansion is underway. The city of Moreno Valley is getting our first rooftop hotel. It's the first of 5 or 6 that are going through plan check and entitlement process. So that'll be exciting to finally have a rooftop hotel in the city of Moreno Valley. Loma Linda Medical Clinic is opening next year as well. We're getting new parks. Road repairs are continuing. Spaces is similar to WeWork is opening at the mall next year. Sky Zone is opening above the museum. Robert Garcia Boxing Academy is in the works to expand and bring semi-pro and professional boxing to the city of Moreno Valley. Huge opportunity for us. Soon we'll have those discussions here at the dais, and that could potentially open the door to a connection with the Olympics as well. So super proud of the partnership that we have with them. We were able to highlight the House of Champions, which are the youngsters, the young boxers that are practicing and training at that facility, and are going to bring back some belts in the near future. So just want to, end on a positive note, because there's a lot of amazing things that are happening here in the city of Moreno Valley. We are a force to be reckoned with, and people are taking notice. You go to conferences, you go to events, and people are talking about the city of Moreno Valley and asking, how are we doing everything that we're doing? And that's because of all of you and all of you that are watching at home. And so with that, I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, Feliz Año Nuevo, Feliz Navidad, all of the above. And we look forward to seeing you next year. Next, we have future agenda items. I'll look to my colleagues to see if there are any requests. Seeing none, we can officially adjourn our council meeting, our final council meeting for 2025 at 8:21 p.m. Everyone have a good night.